They say a samurai's honor lies in his sword. But what if one warrior chose to fight a different kind of battle, not with steel, but with a brush? In the age of blood and blades, there lived a man whose story defied the code of Bushido. A man who believed that peace, not war, was the truest expression of strength. His name was Hasegawa Haku, the samurai who painted. Today, his name barely appears in history books, yet his work outlived the empires that rose and fell around him. This is his forgotten story. Born in the age of war. Japan, late 1500s, the Sengoku Jidai, the Warring States period. Chaos ruled the land. Villages burned, and every man was called to serve his lord with sword in hand. Tohaku was born into a samurai family, disciplined, proud, and bound by duty. From childhood, he trained to fight, endless sword drills, meditation, and lessons on honor. But while other young warriors found pride in combat, Tohaku's heart beat for something different. When his master rested, he would slip away to watch the sunrise over the misty mountains of Kyoto. He saw beauty where others saw emptiness. "There is harmony in stillness," he often whispered, his eyes following the drifting clouds. At night, when others polished their blades, he practiced strokes of ink, cranes in the fog, pine trees against the wind, and rivers that seemed to breathe. His brush danced with the same precision his sword once had. He didn't yet know it, but he was destined to become a warrior of peace in a world of war. The forbidden passion. Art was not for samurai. Painting was seen as a pursuit for merchants, monks, or artisans, never warriors. When whispers of Tohaku's secret reached the ears of his comrades, they mocked him. "A samurai who paints? You bring shame to your ancestors." But Tohaku continued. He painted through the night, guided by a force stronger than fear. "Even a warrior must understand what he fights to protect," he said softly. One night, his lord, Lord Asakura, discovered his secret. Bursting into Tohaku's quarters, he found scrolls spread across the tatami floor, ink still wet on a painting of a lone pine tree standing unbroken amidst a storm. The lord's hand went to his katana. "A samurai who paints is a samurai without discipline." Tohaku bowed deeply. "My lord, even discipline can be found in art. For every stroke of ink is a battle between chaos and control." The lord studied the pine tree again. Then he sheathed his sword. "Then prove it," he said. "Paint for the temple. Show me that your brush has honor." The painting of peace. 4 months, Tohaku worked in solitude. The temple wall before him shimmered with gold leaf, a surface meant to capture the glow of the morning sun. Each day, he ground his own ink, meditated, and painted in silence. His strokes were slow, deliberate, breathing the rhythm of a warrior's training. What emerged was breathtaking. 2 massive pine trees, their roots intertwined, their branches stretching across eternity. Between them, mist floated softly, a symbol of the unseen, the eternal. When he unveiled it, even hardened generals wept. The pine trees, standing together yet apart, reflected their own lives, years of war, longing for peace, and the fragility of existence. Tohaku's mural became known as Pine Trees in Mist. It was not merely art, it was enlightenment made visible. From that moment on, Tohaku was no longer seen as a samurai who betrayed his calling, but one who had redefined it. The brush over the blade. Tohaku laid down his sword for good and dedicated his life to art. But his discipline never left him. Every brushstroke carried the focus of a warrior. Every painting was a meditation, an act of devotion. He traveled across Japan, painting landscapes that captured not what the eye saw, but what the soul felt. He painted silence. He painted peace. And though wars raged around him, he never again picked up a weapon. His only battle now was against time, the fading of beauty, the impermanence of all things. Centuries later, his Pine Trees in Mist still survives, a 400-year-old testament to the idea that honor can be found in creation, not destruction. It remains one of Japan's greatest national treasures, quiet, vast, eternal. The legacy of the warrior artist. Hasegawa Haku's story reminds us that the greatest strength lies in restraint. He lived in an age where men proved their worth by killing, yet he proved his by refusing to. He didn't just paint trees. He painted what Japan could be, calm, wise, and connected to nature. His brushstrokes whispered what swords could never say. Peace is the highest victory. Today, when artists pick up their tools, whether brushes or cameras or words, they follow the path Tohaku paved, a path of creation as defiance. The warrior who created eternity. We live in a world that still glorifies conflict. But perhaps the true warriors are those who build when others destroy, who heal when others harm, who create beauty amidst chaos. Hasegawa Haku wasn't the strongest samurai, but he was one of the bravest. Because it takes courage not to fight. His art outlived every warlord of his time. His name whispers through museum halls, carried by the soft strokes of ink that have survived centuries. He proved that sometimes, the brush is mightier than the blade. If this story of the samurai inspired you, don't let it fade into silence. Like this video, share it with someone who believes in peace over power, and subscribe for more untold stories of courage, creativity, and humanity, stories that remind us that beauty, even in the darkest times, never truly dies.